Awareness when you're high on small talk.
When you take a drug, let's say it definitely gives you a sense of awareness and like enlightenment. It definitely changes your perspective and like I guess how each individual, perceives that in their lifestyle.
Yeah, kind of gives you the ability to step back and give you perspective.
To someone who's not at the store high, it's just grocery shopping. But to someone who just smoked a blunt and walked into the grocery store, that is a place where people gather to get resources to take home to feed their family. I just look at things differently. I'm like, it's not just a store, this is where people go to feed their family. At that house, these people probably have a family at home that they're taking care of. Maybe someone's sick at home with COVID, or maybe someone just is suffering from a loss, and that's why the mom is there with her two kids by herself shopping. Or maybe maybe they're fine, maybe nothing's wrong, but to me it's really interesting, like looking at other people and thinking, they have a life too. It's kind of like they have their own story, their own path, their own everything.
The problem is like when you just do, like when you do substances just to do them. If there's no motivation behind it, like you're just doing it in piss and time and just being a prick.
I mean, it's not always bad. So sometimes it's not bad to have a good time, but you have to learn self-control because that's where substance abuse and it becomes unbeneficial to you.
Why do you think it's so hard to like govern yourself? Like, why is it so hard to tell yourself no?
Impulse, human
Yeah.
nature, greed,
Yep.
wanting. People want things. They see it there and now in that moment. They want it, they buy it, and then they're not thinking ahead. So everyone's just like, I have this much money to spend until I get another paycheck, and then they just repeat the cycle.
Well, it's like drinking.
Yeah.
Some people drink a beer a day. Some people drink a 6-pack a day.
Some people drink once a month, once a year.
I guess it's just how acceptable it is for some people in like certain drugs. I think caffeine is a very big problem.
Caffeine is definitely a drug.
Love caffeine.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Sugar is definitely a drug.
yeah, because
Absolutely.
sugar is very deadly. I'm saying, bro, like from personal experience, I can tell you, like, I'm a huge like sugar person. It's like for me, like it's annoying because like I want to eat better. There's times like I falter and I'm just like, dude, I just gotta have sugar. I'll go about my day, I'm eating a meal and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna avoid sugar, and then next thing I know, something that's on my plate or like that I'm drinking has sugar in it, and like, well, damn, like you're very limited on your options, I guess. They put sugar in everything is my point.
Yep, everything.
Everything.
Fucking everything.
Oh, I don't trust those artificial sugars and stuff. I don't know, like that stuff's kind of fishy.
Like Splenda.
Yeah, like some of the other shit that they got going on. High fructose corn syrup, that stuff is terrible. I think some of the more natural stuff like honey and like agave, like I think that's more like the sugars you should be eating. And same thing with like fruit. Like those, I
love
think
agave.
those are like, I think those are like healthy sugars, definitely, compared to like what they're putting in a honey bun.
Another thing that is really crucial that isn't offered publicly is just eating healthy, like good diets, generally speaking, like through school and stuff like that. Because, I mean, not a lot of people are always going to go out of their way to look up a good diet and kind of their calorie deficit and what they should be working on and like how much they weigh, how much their food intake should be and stuff like that. You know what I mean? More so with our generation, we're getting more into fitness. At least I've seen a lot of people my age, around my age range, that are kind of going to the gym more, that are more likely to take care of themselves and everything like that, because a lot of people want self-improvement for themselves. It's somehow, some way they're trying to make a change, especially back when the early 2000s to mid 2000s, public health definitely was not a concern. Like it was just nothing but junk food and sugary stuff. Kind of left our generation to figure it out. I know there's a lot of resources online to kind of figure out, to look up and find out your calorie deficit, what you should be eating, depending on what you're trying to do, bulk, lose weight, you're trying to cut, you're trying to look good. It's just a matter of going to look for it.
Yeah, I think in my personal experience of growing up, I was never shown in school on like the fundamentals of eating.
It's
Um,
because it's not encouraged, bro. Like we're not encouraged to be fit and to be healthy. It's kind of just like we live in a society where it's like we have to accept everybody as they are, which is fine, but it's also dangerous at the same time. Like that's why we're kind of in a health decline, bro. Like, but
yeah,
it's easier to get it under control when you're younger than when you're older, man. Like,
I think a lot of it has to be just like fundamental things. You know, whether they take it and run with it, that's fine. But like, you know, making sure that everybody has that same level of access of basic understanding or like nutrition, and especially that America has a huge problem with like diabetes and like heart disease and over like obesity and stuff. Putting a bigger emphasis on nutrition is important, especially for youth.
like if you come from a family and all they eat is hungry man and lean cuisine, like it'd be important for you to get put onto that kind of stuff.
You know, I wish I was taught that. You know, like as you know, coming from a family that most of my family members have health conditions, and you know, I was on borderline that kind of that realm. You know, I was pushing like 320 in high school, and so you know, I was a big kid. So like, you know, I felt the wear and tear on my body. You know, like putting myself through that like every day. You know, like my feet would hurt at the end of the fucking day. And like it was just mad annoying. Like if I like sat down and like chilled for a while, it's just like just instant pain.
Yeah, I mean, I think a big solution to it is just kind of including it in the high school curriculum. Like when kids take gym, a lot of people just kind of goof off, but I think they just need to make it more interesting, kind of show the downside to not being healthy and kind of situations that you get put in when you're older. And another thing is just the budget for schools to put gyms in. Like, of course, the athletic programs have a weight room, but they should have a public gym for the students because not every high schooler is going to be able to afford like a gym membership, having to pay that every month. I mean, most kids do because most kids nowadays work, but just something affordable, kind of be able to encourage the students more because if it's free, why not, you know?
Yeah, man. I also think that goes back to connecting with the kids because like a lot of kids can't see the forest from the trees, bro. Like I know, like I remember when I was 14, like I was not worried about how I would turn out physically at 40, you know what I mean? Or how like what I was eating then would affect me in like years to come. Like I was not worried about that kind of stuff. But it's important. We would just have to like figure out a way to connect with kids, which is very difficult.
It's definitely a difficult thing to do and then to be able to budget. But it's essential. I mean, if you want the best possible society and the healthiest society, because a healthy body is also a healthy mind, you know. Your mind develops with your body along with your body along with your body along with your mind, you know. It's kind of you have to build both in sync, and as you do so, you see improvements in your life. And I've seen
So,
a lot of people who transform themselves when they start working out, they begin to be, I don't want to say become obsessed with self-improvement, but they're able to lay out that skill set of changing themselves. It's the start.
absolutely, absolutely.
It's like a tidal wave of change.
That's why when a lot of people get in the gym, they become addicted. They're like,
Yeah.
dude, I didn't go to the gym today. I feel like shit. I feel terrible.
Yeah.
That's
I feel
Javaun right
fat.
there.
Yep. Like you gotta go. Cause that's how I was working out, doing 2 days, and then I stopped for a little bit for like 4 days, and then after that 4 days, I felt terrible. Felt bloated. My gut felt nasty. I didn't feel comfortable in my own skin. I was like, dude, I need to work out again. Like I don't know what I'm
Yeah,
doing.
it's weird. You definitely feel like the physical difference.
Most definitely. Even with eating fruits, I feel like me personally, just kind of getting that natural, like eating an orange, just getting that natural energy. You just kind of become more energetic, more energized, that natural energy. Like I haven't really looked into it, but I've heard a couple people talk about it. Y'all know Dr. Sebi and that pH balanced diet.
I'm familiar with Dr. Sebi, but not the pH balance diet.
Sounds familiar.
he has like a diet where you only eat a pH bounce, like food, like different types of vegetables and fruit, I believe so. And it's apparently changed a lot of people's lives, gets them healthy in shape, builds like immunity in the gut. Apparently it's what cured Magic Johnson. There's some conspiracy right there. So
Very interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I definitely recommend anyone who's listening to look it up if you're looking to improve your diet.
I had some success on Weight Watchers.
How was the Weight Watcher experience?
Well, I was watching my weight all right. All right, no,
Drum
that was
roll.
really bad. That was really bad. Nah, it was it's pretty cool. I mean, like they're based off of like a point system, so you know you could still eat generally what you wanted. It was just if you ate something in a day, it counted for so many points based off of like the number was calculated based off of like the average of like fats, carbs, protein, and like the proportion of it. So like if something was like higher protein, like lower in fats, sugars, and carbs and stuff, it'd be like less points compared to like if it was more unhealthy, it'd be higher in the point range. And so if you ate something, you only had so many points for that day to like meet like a weekly caloric intake or like general like thing. I mean, but the whole idea was to like improve overall your diet, like consume more water so you're not wasting like points on drinks and stuff, and like it's just like a more of a user friendly like regimen, you know. In a way, like eating good is kind of like it's not rocket science, you know. In a way, you know what to stay away from. It's just doing it. I'd say it's pretty hard. There's a lot of stuff that's addicting, like pizza. I know Javaun, you don't like pizza.
No, I do not.
I can't believe you.
Shit is terrible, bro.
All right, so tell me, I gotta know what was that one definitive moment and you're like, you know what, fuck pizza.
Honestly, for as long as I can remember, I have not liked pizza, and I've never really gotten the like. I just don't get the attachment to pizza. Like, if you really think about it, dog, it's toast, cheese, melted cheese, but the cheese sits on top of red sauce, and it's a type of like meat that's not even identifiable goes on top of it, bro. Like, it's disgusting.
You didn't even
A disgusting
you didn't
combination.
mess with them 6 a.m. breakfast pizzas at school?
Dude, nah. I did not.
Dude, those are fire, bro. Those
Fuck no.
I don't know,
I was a cereal guy, bro.
cereal.
Oh.
Those mini cereals, that chocolate milk. Oh, y'all had strawberry
Frosted
milk though.
Flakes.
Did y'all have strawberry milk? They took it away from us when I was in like second
Yeah.
grade.
Yeah. We had birthday cake.
Yeah, it's
We
okay.
had birthday cake,
Yeah, I
bro.
was gonna say they had trash birthday cake, bro.
What?
Dude. Trash. Wait, you say trash?
No, I said what?
Birthday cake was terrible.
It was wild. Nah, that shit was cracking the fucking bottle, bro.
Drinking sprinkles with the milk.
No cap, bro. That's exactly what it was, dog. Like, it was pretty bad. I was surprised that they gave us that, and I was like, Jesus, like this is like pure sugar.
Liquid diabetes.
Hell yeah, then they took it away. When was that? During the Bush era? Yeah. No regard for.
Some of those lunches were great. Some of those lunches were great though.
Yeah.
In elementary, I went to a private school, and on days that you didn't, like you forgot your lunch, they would give you a slice of pizza, a strawberry cupcake, and a side of, I forgot. I think it was like fries. So,
That's
but
fine.
but my mom would always pack my lunch. So in the mornings, I'd grab my lunch. I'd get in the car. I'd put my lunch under my seat. And whenever my mom dropped me off, I would leave. And I just left my lunch in the car so my mom wouldn't find it. So whenever I got to lunchtime and they would ask me, where's your lunchbox? I was like, oh, I don't have one. They're like, okay, we'll get you pizza and a strawberry cupcake. And I was like,
Oh yeah.
Smart man.
Finesse.
Genius.
I was finessing the system at 6 years old.
Dang.
Your mom's like, what's that smell? It smells like
There was
something.
one time my mom came back It was right at lunchtime. I was walking up to go get my tray of pizza, and I see my mom walking through with my fucking yellow bumblebee, um, my lunchbox, and she's like, "Mijo, you forgot your lunch." Oh,
You're all, no,
I
I
was so
didn't.
upset. I was so upset, man. But
Wait, so you were on the way to get the food, the pizza and stuff?
yeah, I was. The lunchtime had just happened, and my mom knew the lunchtime, so
Oh,
she
she
showed
pulled
up
up.
before time. Yep,
She caught on.
yep.
You're all upset. Dang, bro.
For real. That's tough.
All right, let's end that segment. I think we should do 3, and then this will be the final topic. How long have we been talking for?
We already have a segment way before you showed up.
Which is?
I don't know. We were just talking about other stuff.
Like current event. Trump, the Capitol.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say you should talk about stocks, some Neo, some of that Bitcoin,
All right.
a little bit of the future, some
We
predictions.
can talk about investments.
2021 is a make it or break it year. So I think going into 2021 more so now than ever, a lot of people are interested in investing. So from, especially in the stock market, a lot of it stems from TikTok. I've definitely heard from a lot of people that they become interested in some form of investing through TikTok. Everyone sees Robinhood, that mobile app. And a lot of people see kids, well, I say kids in the term 17, 16, 14, 18, some teenagers making a couple thousand or up to 40,000, 10,000, $12,000 overnight, and everyone just kind of wants to hop into it, thinks it's some quick cash. And I think it's good that a lot of people are interested in the market. It's definitely dangerous because a lot of people hop into it without knowing what they're doing. But it is a very good way to kind of start your journey to controlling your financials better, long-term investments or learning to trade. But a lot of the times when people see huge gains, when they see people 10K, 25K, it's all through trading options. And for those of you who don't know, trading options is puts and calls, basically betting if the stock's gonna rise or fall. And that's the way people they buy positions or shares kind of at a discount. Very interesting, but also very dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. We're just kind of here to speculate, do some stock talk. I think some of the biggest stocks for 2021 is going to be Neo. It's an EV company coming out of Japan. They're expected to have most of their cars into production by early 2022. They have some released in 2021. Their batteries are supposed to be swappable, and the range is almost double Tesla's at 621 miles, I believe.
I know Apple's trying to hop in on electric car game.
I
I saw
mean,
something that like the industry would be a $9 trillion business by like 2025.
100%. I mean, I think especially in foreign countries like Germany and Japan are probably the two that are pushing it the most to convert over to EV. I know Germany focuses very much on um, keeping their environment clean. Like you can't even wash your car at home. They have car wash stations for you to go to whenever like you go to fill up your gas or stuff like that, and they're free. And the reason you can't wash your car in the streets there is because the dirt from your car mixes with the water and it drains and it gets into the drainage system in the sewer, and they don't want like dirty water and stuff like that. They try to keep as much pollutants out of the sewer as they can for public health and to kind of keep the environment healthy. So they have
Wow.
these car wash stations that you go to, and they offer the services of, soap, wax, power, how did I forget what it's called? The power washer. There you go. They have all your basic utilities to kind of just clean your car there, and it goes into a filtration system, and then they wash out all that water through the system because all the water drains into that uh, specific place it's made for washing your car. So,
Interesting.
yeah, that's a little side ramble. It's very interesting how different America is to other countries, or how different other countries are to America. But I mean, I don't think America's number one anymore. We definitely got knocked out of that spot. May
We
have a
haven't
huge
been number
military.
one for a long time.
Yeah, but I don't know about anymore. We're definitely falling behind. I mean, we're definitely behind in cybersecurity. We've been hacked multiple times in the past 6 months, and they've been huge leaks. And right now, what's going on? We're showing that are weak, especially in the prediction of the market. I think 2021 is a make it or break it year because a lot of people are going to get rich and a lot of people are going to lose money. It's one of the two things. I mean, history's being made right now, especially on the 20th when Biden becomes inaugurated. The market's definitely going to be super volatile and seeing what happens, where we go.
S- Speaking of security, I think this year you can see a lot of tech companies that are going to be doing really well as far as cybersecurity.
Oh yeah, for sure.
100%.
At least I would hope, these big attacks. I'd hope that the public and the industry, really focus on developing better protection against this kind of thing. From what I understood, didn't the most recent attack was on Microsoft. Um, and they like actually got to like, was it like to the source code?
I believe so. I know another one that was big was Cash App. They compromised Cash App and people's card info.
Dang, that too.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all know about that. I deleted my card off my Cash App the day it happened. I heard about it like a couple hours after it happened. I was like, nope.
It's
But
too
it's
late.
probably, but
I mean, just monitor your card. That's the best thing you can do is just monitor your statements. I wonder how many of y'all monitor your statements?
down to the dollar, how much you spend.
Yeah, like a lot of people have to realize where every single dollar goes. I think that's important because a dollar's a dollar, honestly. Like it's make it or break it, especially if you're not making over like a six-figure income.
Most definitely. I think a lot of people don't account small expenses. They just kind of spend with free will. And if you're, as Ethan said, if you're not making six figures, a dollar is definitely a dollar. Most definitely, you're making $12 an hour, $15 an hour. I think something that a lot of people should also consider is working for money. I think it's more so you work for experience and capital. It's not money that you get to keep in your pocket and spend. It should be money that you reinvest and try and grow.
Yeah, money should be working
Whether,
for you.
yeah, 100%. That's the only way that you're going to gain more money. If that's your end goal, the best way to play it.
Yeah, you can still retire wealthy, but you'd have to play the cards right.
That Roth IRA,
Yes, Roth IRAs. Those are the wave, bro.
Roth IRA.
Non-taxable. I encourage every single one of y'all to go out, talk to a CPA, or do your research and get a Roth IRA and start putting some money in there and watch that baby grow. And when you turn 59 and a half and you're ready to settle down or you're ready to just say, fuck this job, you can pull that money out and it's already taxed. Every penny is yours.
Next thing you know, pull out six figures to $1 million. The money definitely grows over time and untaxed. It's a win situation.
Yep. But you do get a very heavy tax if you pull it out prematurely. Like if you dip into it.
Yep.
Yep. Also, another big thing is cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin got pumped up and then dropped, but I mean, it's from
we
where it
saw-
was.
we
It
saw
just
a record run right there. That was pretty impressive.
it was, and I mean, a lot of people are arguing about it dropping, but I mean, it's super super volatile. But I don't think Bitcoin is crazy volatile. I mean, I think it's steady enough. I think that run was just kind of an example of what Bitcoin can do and what it has in store for 2021.
Let me pull up Robinhood real quick. As of now, down 2 grand, which doesn't help the cause. I think point is long term, the future benefits of Bitcoin could far outweigh like the volatility. Um, it's not perfect by any means. I think this year and hopefully this past year and this record kind of shows some promise to the general public and makes it more not legit but more accepted. You know what I mean? Like we kind of unify the two with centralized banking. you go to Wells Fargo, Chase, or whatever. You do all your transactions, they go to them. You know, that's your direct deposit there, or you know.
Yep. And another thing is a lot of people are super sketch on Bitcoin. Not a lot of people trust it. But I mean, it's the future. I believe it's the answer to inflation, the answer against the American dollar. I mean, we're only devaluing the American dollar year by year, month by month, day by day. Eventually, when is it going to be enough? When are we going to have to switch over to some different type of currency to solve that inflation, to bring back the value of an American currency, switch over markets?
Yeah, it's like people in the inflation they'll invest in gold. For whatever reason, gold is just one of those commodities or like those monetary things that just has a value just because people says it has a value. It's like the basis of every currency. You know, it's like universally accepted.
Yeah, shiny, kind of crazy.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Shiny.
It's very wild. I mean,
You know what's so weird? I have this crazy idea. I don't know if anybody's familiar with like the story of the ancient Sumerians and like how they talk about their gods, the Anunnaki. It's like on that ancient aliens, fucking origin of mankind conspiracy shit.
very interesting.
You
I do
you
not
never heard of
know.
that?
I have
You don't
never
know?
heard of it.
Okay, so like I go down the rabbit hole sometimes on YouTube and like doing like UFO research and shit just from like personal experience, and I just find the whole topic like interesting. Of course, there's a lot of BS out there. There's a lot of false claims and stuff. But like first off, the Sumerians are the very first like ancient civilization that had like any type of written literature. Like they were like they put their writings on like clay tablets, and like they kind of depict what the origin of man was. It was basically like these gods came from another star system. They came here looking for gold because their planet's atmosphere was deteriorating and our planet had a large reserve of gold. And when they got here, they found like primitive man, and they like engineered their own DNA with primitive man, and like created like Homo sapiens, and like they used us as basically like their tools to get the gold out of the earth, and then they dipped. And then like I think this all correlates back to like why is gold so important?
You know what? I think I've heard that theory. That sounds familiar about mining gold.
Yeah, it's like this whole like they came here, created us as of like of course they talk about like internal conflict with these gods, you know, like some of them were against it, some of them were for it and blah blah blah, and like I don't know if it's true or not. I wasn't there. But you know, that's what the Sumerians be saying, and they're the first. Dude, their civilization is old. I can pull it up right now.
Another theory I heard is that we are like a testing ground for genetics with aliens, kind of being able to produce some type of life form.
Like to this
And where
day.
the evolution, yeah, they started with the dinosaurs, and they created some that life form, and then they wiped them out, reset them, and then created man, or like the little sea slug that it developed into man. You know,
For real. So the Sumerians were from 4100 BCE to 1750 BCE.
wow, that is ancient.
Very ancient. But I've also heard that like that the earth is like a nesting egg for like this accumulation of like biological and like mechanical um innovation, like the symbiosis. I mean, it really is though. I mean, in a way, how much of our lives are already controlled by AI? A lot, probably.
Significant amount, I would say.
You know, you like your YouTube algorithms, social media algorithms. You know what you see.
I think algorithms are a very interesting concept because it doesn't really bring up the concept of freedom to be able to see whatever you want on the internet. I mean, sure, you can just go look it up, but how many people jump out of the box to go search something up? Like, a lot of people are just kind of comfortable where they are scrolling through the same thing on the internet because it's what entertains them. And you just kind of stay stuck. You're not able to fully, freely access that information, you know? And it literally goes down to every single search you look up. Like, I look up a dog, you look up a dog, and we're most likely gonna get some different pictures, you know, based off of what I like and what you like and what I view on my laptop and what you view on your laptop. It's crazy, especially the YouTube algorithm and what videos are like. You know, I saw some influencers kind of putting them on blast, like the Charlie D'Amelio, the D'Amelio family, and like all of their friends were all trending because the algorithm wanted all of them to trend, and nobody else's videos were trending. Even videos that were getting millions of views more, they're just not trending because they're not a part of the algorithm, and that's the only thing. And it pumps their views, or it creates an echo chamber for a lot of people, especially extremists that are not open to learn new ideals. They're just stuck.
Where did that algorithm come from? Was it like
I encourage everybody to watch The Social Dilemma on Netflix, I believe it's called. Um, I saw it a while back. I really want to rewatch it, but essentially it's just talking about Facebook, Instagram, and algorithms, how controlling we are. A big thing that a lot of people are noticing is with Instagram, how they're going to work with the government, have access to your microphone and camera
for real?
almost at all times, just if you have the app on your phone. It is very scary, and a lot of people are just okay with it. And those who aren't okay with it, it's like, what can we do? How are we going to stop it? Boycott them? Delete it? It's not going to do anything. They don't care. They already have billions of users worldwide. I think it's crazy how I can literally go hop on a website right now and chat with someone across the world, some random person across the world that I don't even know. How do I know they're even real? You know?
Mm-hmm.
It's
Whoa,
crazy.
man.
Someone that's living a life just like me on the opposite side of the world or like a couple blocks down. The internet's a trippy concept and it's supposed to be the open book, the source of information, but how much do you utilize it? Do you put it to good use? I think that's a question a lot of people need to ask themselves. So when they want to learn something, when they're interested and they go into it blindly, why didn't you research it? You have the internet. You have every single reason to be able to research and expand your knowledge to educate yourself on whatever it is, whether it's learning how to diet, learning how to eat healthy, or if it's just learning how to DIY at home, build a shelf, fix your fence, fix your car. It's all there. It just starts with you.
Information is so accessible. You know,
I can't imagine having to stand in line for something or like go to a library.
I mean, I'm sure all of us here have tried to expand our skill set. I mean, what do y'all use?
What do you
What do y'all
mean?
watch? What platforms? What apps?
Oh, my biggest platforms are books are a good resource. A lot of it is just like knowledge of others, which I mean essentially is what the internet is too. It's just a bigger culmination of everything. I use Google as well. I don't say like I look at one source and that's it. I try to look for accredited websites, multiple sources having the same answer, or using Google to point me in the right direction of somebody who is like credited in whatever it is that I'm trying to learn. You know, get the real stuff. You know, because there's a lot of BS out there. You know, do your due diligence of sifting through everything and making sure that's factual. Because it's very easy to be misled. YouTube is a great resource. A lot of people do
oh,
a lot of stuff on there.
Yeah, my main method is YouTube and Reddit.
Reddit too. I forget. You know, I've kind of been sleeping on Reddit personally, but you know what's the Reddit community like?
It's amazing, bro. Like literally anything that you may be curious about or you need answers with, Reddit has it, bro. Like literally anything you could think about, there's a subreddit for. Very useful in my opinion.
And that's good because it's like community members trying to pull information together.
mm-hmm.
The forums, Reddit, great place to
Read-
look.
Read the forums.
That's what I do when I'm trying to work on my car. I've saved hundreds of dollars Probably thousands just looking up DIY, how to do it myself, buy the parts, done deal.
Yeah,
Another good way making money, an Amazon seller, drop shipping, starting a vending machine business,
for real.
clothing brand, anything you want to do, it's all there. Someone's done it before you and somebody's vlogged their journey.
Some of the YouTube stuff is kind of the
Cap.
algorithm's kind of weird.
It is a lot of it's flexing. It's that's the thing is you have to be able to find education that's entertaining but not entertaining
Too much.
education. So in that sense, you want to find something that's educating you before it's entertaining you, something that you're able to kind of enjoy, but something you're going to learn from. Because where some people fail when they're just starting out is they watch some hype beast who's flexing his money, showing his Hellcat off, but he's not telling you what he's done. He's not giving you tips. He's not telling you the mindset. Or he's all, you got to work for it, bro. You work hard. You do this, but what did you do? How did you develop the mentality of I'm going to get up every single day and I'm going to work for this? You can't just say I'm going to work hard and then just go do it. It doesn't work for a lot of people like that. You have to kind of have that switch. And if you're able to be like, just immediately once, I want to work hard, I'm going to go do it. That's great. But not everybody thinks like that. Not everybody can just get up and go do it. That's a
Hmm.
problem with a lot of people. And that's a problem I've personally suffered from. But that's where you enact change and better yourself and you get up and you do it.
Some people have legitimate reasons. You have to, but you have to distinguish that amongst yourself. Like, what's an excuse I'm using, and what's a legitimate reason that's holding me back or keeping me from doing something. And if there's a legitimate reason, what can I do to make that not a reason that it's holding me back?
Yep. It's
Good.
all
Be analytical,
it
emotional. Hey, Javaun, what you reading the book about emotional intelligence?
Yes, Ersky.
Is that what kind of the book touches on, like being like analytical of yourself, being like collected?
Well, it's a little bit more broader than that. They broke it down into five different components of emotional intelligence. It's self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, social skills, and but yeah, all these encompass social and emotional intelligence. So I mean, yes and no. But it's very educational, man. I've only gone through about one or two chapters so far, though.
What's the name of the book for the people at home?
Working with Emotional Intelligence by Daniel Goleman. Gold now with the E, not a D, a E.
Oh, Coleman.
Goal, like yeah, like goal. Very informative, bro. Like I feel like a lot of leaders, bro. It's not so much about IQ. Like I feel like very successful leaders have very good EQ. Like their emotional intelligence is very high. Their ability to regulate themselves, regulate other people, regulate their emotions, and communicate that effectively is very high. So that's something I think I want to work on in
That
2021.
that's another thing. You bring up the point of regulating other people. I think that's interesting. Like getting other people to like believe in your cause. You look at like Apple or like Microsoft or Amazon, how these leaders were able to get people to hop on the wave. And that takes definitely an incredible amount. What is that? Like that EQ.
That's the last one. Empathy. Empathy. So self-regulation, self-awareness, empathy, motivation, and social skills.
Oh, empathy.
Yes, but I mean, regulating people, it's definitely easier said than done, man. Like getting a bunch of people to follow a common goal.
I think another thing with regulating people and getting them to follow you or support you is those who doubt you. And it may be people close to you that you never know that are low-key haters. And you have to be able to just fuck it. Fuck them. I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna do better. This is for me. You need that step. A lot of people can't deal with the haters. A lot of people are scared to do with whatever what other people think. And I mean, I don't blame them. I mean, I've been there at one point in my life, and I don't even know if I'm still fully over it, but I'm working on it, and that's what matters.
Um, you think it's because of the social media?
Most definitely. I mean, we grew up in the social media era. I mean, and from where we are, there's no going back. There's no way to reset. And there hasn't been long-term studies of what this society does to someone's brain to simply to uh, an overweight teen who feels like they're being body shamed, to some girl who doesn't feel that she's pretty because of the girl she sees online, um, to the kid who wants to start a business but he's scared what other people are gonna think. It's definitely a scary thing for a lot of people, and a lot of people are still stuck there. They're scared to take the leap. What others think. You want to start a side hustle, but you don't know if it'll interfere with your job, what your boss is gonna think, what your parents are gonna think. A lot of people's parents hold them back. A lot of people's parents tell them no, it's not a great idea, or I support you, but I don't know. And that's the moment where you gotta kind of step up and do stuff for yourself, or you gotta analyze the situation and realize, you know what, you may not support me now, but when I succeed, however long that is from now, I'm gonna put it in your face. I'm gonna show you. Look at me. I did this. You didn't believe in me, but that's okay, because I took that and I fueled myself with that, and that's why I succeeded. Thank you for doubting me.
Wow. I feel that.
We should definitely touch on that. We could either touch on it now or on another podcast, but parents holding their kids back. Like, a lot of parents do hold their kids back without really realizing that they are.
Yeah, I mean, they just want what's best for them, but it's not always what's best. It's just what's best for the parent in that parent's mind. I think another thing is school. Want their kids to go straight out, straight to college. Community college isn't bad. I think if you're able to do the 2 years, do it. 100% cheap, pretty much paid for. And if you feel unhappy, that's not for you, then find something that you love. I think another thing for a lot of people is not a lot of people fresh out of high school or young kids are encouraged to find what they love, and that's a lot of people's biggest regrets in life is I didn't do what I loved. I just dealt with the hand I got and moved on. And that's why a lot of people are unhappy. And for a lot of people, doing what they love is requires a lot of school. I mean, do what you love, but be realistic. Play to your skill sets. If you have one arm, but you want to be a professional, you want to be in the NBA, I don't know. But say you want to be the number one realtor in your city, that's possible. You really don't have anything holding you back, except for not having an arm. But I think it's just the mentality of, am I going to be able to do it? And you might not always be able to, but do it. You're going to fall down, get back up, do it
I know.
again.
I know you can do it. You
Exactly.
can do it. You
You
can do it.
can do it. Yes, sir. And there's definitely going to be moments where you don't feel like you're going to do it. You may have that moment, you may not. But it's just consistency, working on it. And say you do fail, that goal's gone. You learn from it and you know how to work on your next goal. Take it as a learning experience. Expand. It's all you should do. Expand, expand, expand. Because if you stay stagnant, where are you going to go? You don't get bigger, you just get smaller, or you stay the same. And if you're okay with being stagnant, then that's on you. But that's not what we're here for. We're here to encourage you. We're here to encourage everyone in this podcast right now. The homies. What have you learned? What have you done? What have you worked on? And I think a lot of people need to hold their friends accountable. If you and your homies are spitting big facts, big talk, talking about doing things, well, you can ask them, hey man, what did you learn this week? How much money did you make? If you didn't learn anything, what have you done? You've been meditating? You been working out? Did you miss a workout? It's important to check up on the people you love and the people that you're supporting to improve, because those people support you as well and they hold you accountable, because it's one thing to hold yourself accountable, but it definitely helps you out if you have someone else holding you accountable. Y'all kind of pedal off of each other.
I feel that. Telling others about like your goals make it easier on you.
And there will be haters. Haters gonna hate. They're always
Well,
gonna be there. Might be your cousin, might be your grandma, might be your homeboy, might be your girlfriend. But you know what? Fuck them. Cutthroat mentality.
I like that cutthroat.
Cutthroat. Sheesh.
Yep.
No mercy.
You
I
gotta
like
be
that.
assertive. A lot of people are too nice. There are a couple books. No More Mr. Nice Guy. You
That's
know.
a great book.
Oh, you
Yeah.
read it?
I'm not too educated on the topic to speak on it, but beta males and alpha males, I definitely think that's a thing. Not to say always being a beta is bad, but if you're getting into business, you have to be assertive. You have to be an alpha. You have to speak up. You can't just stand there, be stagnant, you know? Even in life, you want that promotion. You want that body. You want that girl. Go out and do it, you know? You don't do it, you stay a beta, man. You can't accept that. I mean, I don't like the term beta and alpha, but I think it's a good depiction as to a strong man and a weak man. And we all want to be a strong man, right? You
Yes.
always want to be the best version you can be. And if you don't, that's okay. But once again, that's not what we're here for. If you just want to stay stagnant, you're okay with where you are, I wouldn't listen to this podcast. This
Cutthroat.
is this is about self-improvement. I mean, granted, these are small talks between us as the homies, but we want to subconsciously get you in that mindset of improving yourself, thinking about maybe I should get into stocks, maybe I should get into real estate, maybe I should work out, maybe I should meditate, maybe I should improve myself, improve my bank account, improve the people around me. You know, another thing is surrounding yourself with good people. Surround yourself with 5 rich people, you'll become the 6th. Surround yourself with 5 dumb people, you'll become the 6th. Surround yourself with 5 drug dealers, you'll become the 6th, you know? It's definitely something that a lot of people don't think about and who they surround themselves with because they become attached. And when you become emotionally invested, that can become a problem. So you have to kind of also think in life and have a business aspect and then a life aspect, your emotional aspect and then your business aspect. You have to have 2 different perspectives of how you perceive things because you have to kind of gauge your pros and cons, what's going to benefit you, what's not going to benefit you. If y'all know what I'm saying, you know. How do y'all feel about that? What do y'all think?
No, everything that you said
Yeah,
to
I
me
get
was
you.
on
You
point.
spitting a million facts a minute right now.
I guess you could say that, you know, it's just an accumulation of thoughts and definitely throughout the end of high school I cut off a lot of people and not that they were bad people, they just weren't beneficial to me. I mean, it hurts to say and not to be an asshole that if you don't benefit me, I don't want to talk to you. You know, not every relationship should be uh, mutual, like beneficial, but it definitely helps. I mean, do you really want to keep hanging out with that person who leeches off of you, uses you for gas money, uses you for a ride? Your homie who just sits at home and smokes weed all day? Your homeboy who sits and plays video games all day? Your homegirl who stalks people on Instagram and hates, starts drama? Do you really want to be around those people, or do you want to be around your homeboy who's on his grind, encourages you to work out, meditate? Your homegirl who takes you to the gym, meditates with you, you know, teaches you spirituality, how to improve yourself. It's just gauging who you want to be around and improving yourself along with that person, holding each other accountable because it's easier when you have someone else to help you, someone else to join you along that journey. 2 minds is greater than 1.
I agree.
Yep.
But with all that said, I think we've come to the end of this podcast. We are going to have our social medias below in the description. And when this gets uploaded to SoundCloud, it's also going to be in the description of our profile. So if you want to go and check us out, give us a follow. This is Aiden from the Small Talk Podcast. And thank you for listening. Y'all have a good night, guys. Good day. And don't forget, read, work out, meditate, stay on the grind, develop your mind.
Like that. All right. Bye, guys.